Yeah, good morning, everybody. So it seems like we're having a little bit of greener times than we had over the weekend. So Bitcoin is back over 68, Ethereum 3.5, and just the whole market looks quite green here. Also, we are back over 2 million market cap with EARN. We currently have 207,000 in liquidity, so this is also rapidly growing. We have circulating supply is now 431 million tokens, and on the east side we are at 840 holders. So when we actually go look at BNB side, we are almost at 1,000. So on the BNB side, we have 939 holders right now. So that's getting close to 1,000. So obviously we don't know how many of these holders overlap on the ETH and the BNB side. Yeah, I estimate we have probably about 1,500 holders. What would you say, Michael?
Actually, I count them as separate because they are a different blockchain. So I count them as separate
They are,
holders
yeah.
entirely. Yeah. People say, oh, the same wallet address. No, it's a
Yeah.
different chain. Different chain, different group of
Yeah, it
holders.
is. It is. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, looking at the circulating supply at 431,260,000 is amazing. Yeah, but to be real, that's not exactly the circulating supply that's available because that's not taking it that when you say that, that's what's like in the market, available, buy and sell. But you got to take the buy, hold, earn wallet out of that equation, which is currently 110 million tokens.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
sitting plus 111 million tokens, which is currently sitting there. Plus this lovely D-Bridge Gate wallet that's growing. It's currently sitting at 8.8 million. And some people have been asking me in the chat, like, what the hell is this D-Gate Bridge wallet? And just think of it as like an exchange wallet. It's actually fairly similar to an exchange in that sense that whenever tokens are bridged over to a different chain, like Solana or in the future Arbitrum, BNB, AVAX, Base Chain, they all pile into that wallet. So that's certainly sitting just under 9 million tokens. And in that wallet, you have your liquidity pools, you have your airdrops, you have your wallets that are holding earn from this trading, Flameling dividends reward tokens. I don't even know them, but that's piling up pretty fast at almost 9 million tokens. Currently, the top 10 holder, we can see that there. So at some point, I think that's going to be on par to one of the largest holders in the ecosystem, just because as we keep expanding on additional chains, which is super cool. Burn wallet sitting at 56.87%. That's growing quickly. But again, I would take the Burn wallet plus the buy hold earn wallet, maybe a quarter of that D Bridgegate wallet, exchange wallet, and then try to do your math on what's actually available. It's kind of tricky to do that. But yeah, technicals, 840 holders, as you said, on the ETH side, and that's growing. I think we'll be above 1,000 pretty soon. Sitting over 2 million, which is nice. I think we're in a nice little consolidation. We did have a more of a rapid sell-off event over the last few weeks or a week. But if you have dry powder, which I've always told everyone to DCA, hopefully you did, and you got the opportunity to buy up the dip. That was, I think we went down to like 1.1 at one point. I don't think we ever dipped below a million at any point.
No, not below, but we were like very close to 1 million, like pretty much 1 million, I think, at some point.
Which is impressive.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, we've nicely recovered from that. And now that the market is turning, I just expect that will continue. I think we've been holding really strong given, what some individuals did to our chart. I think we kind of held up pretty nicely. And yeah, I mean, those rotations, they're necessary, right?
They are. Rotations are good because it's redistribution.
Yeah,
it's giving people the opportunity to get position. Rotations, we've been seeing rotations since day one. much larger.
Yeah.
And they're good because this redistributes
Yeah.
tokens and give people the opportunity that felt like they missed it, the chance, because we hear all the time. Even during that AMA we did with Kazo and MLKK, everyone's like, "Oh, we missed it. It's at
Yeah.
6 million. When can we find a way to get in?" What did I say in the AMA? Take your time in DCA
Yeah.
and wait.
Hmm.
If they would have listened, maybe they got a position. I've said that repeatedly. Like, just take your time in DCA and wait, and maybe they got a chance to get in.
Yeah.
Doing that, hopefully, because that's what I mentioned a lot is that only you, as an individual, know what your DCA strategy should be, and even Bitcoin itself, not even EARN, even Bitcoin's highly volatile. So I think that practice,
Yeah.
in my opinion, should be followed in general, not just with EARN. But
Well, yeah,
yeah,
some people just are a little bit more in a rush. But I mean, that's fine. Everybody has different priorities, right? Did you want to like talk a little bit about the liquidity? Because we have done that a little bit in the whale chat.
yeah,
But
yeah. So we've been throwing
we have
around, letting people
different
talk.
options now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're letting
Yeah,
folks
go
just
ahead.
talk about it in the chat. And because we always like different opinions, and like to discuss things as a community, because some people don't know this even still today, but EARN is 100% community driven. It's the community takeover that was never a community takeover. So everyone loves those so much. So we do value the community opinion, because like there is no dev wallet, there is no marketing tax that goes back to one wallet. Everything is self-funded. And that's the way we're going to do it, from here on out. And so basically the fee or tax, we want to call it, is 100% redistribution back to all holders. It is a true hyperinflationary reflection token, where you buy it, you hold it, and you earn, it's redistributed back to everyone. So with that, with it being a hyperinflationary token, something really cool is happening with liquidity. Some people that have been there for a while have noticed something if they've been taking screenshots, like I have been doing. And what you're seeing is that the liquidity to market cap ratio is rapidly expanding on the ETH side. And that's because anyone doesn't know, market cap is calculated by circulant supply times price gives you market cap. And so what that means is that market cap goes down, liquidity goes up, because circulant supply is decreasing rapidly with every single buy, sell, and transfer that is occurring. So our liquidity is
So
getting
you have to
fat.
unpack that a little. Oh, wait. So you
Too
have to
fast?
unpack it a little bit. It's not just, yeah. So market cap goes down doesn't mean liquidity goes up. What you mean is at the circulating supply is decreasing, and because the market cap is calculated price times circulating supply. So if the market cap is, so if you take a snapshot today of the market cap and you take another one in 2 weeks and you have the same market cap, but you will have less circulating supply, which means that the price has to be a tiny little bit higher than it was before, even though the market cap is the same. So that means also that the liquidity is slowly growing over time because the ratio is changing between the liquidity and the
Right.
market
I
cap.
think the easiest thing
Just
to
for
say is
people
just
that
say,
haven't.
yeah, the easiest thing for people to say, the ratio is changing. And the easiest way to say that is look at the
The
screenshots.
ratio is changing, yeah.
Ratio is changing, and
Yeah.
it's a percentage.
But
So just look at my screenshots, you'll see what I'm talking about. Ratio is changing. So anyway,
right, yeah.
with the ratio changing, the market cap to liquidity ratio, which is you see the percentage changing and the amount that's there, how much is different. We're getting a much fatter liquidity to market cap ratio substantially. So with that, as most people in the community know, we are a multi-chain project. We exist on BNB, Solana, Base Chain, eventually AVAX, Polygon, Arbitrum in the future. So we put a post in the well group like, okay, we have options here, because we don't burn we don't burn our liquidity. I think that's a meme fly by night thing to do. In my opinion, we lock it because you can utilize it throughout the ecosystem for different purposes: exchange listings, chain expansion. Some people love the idea of callers and influencers and marketers, but I think, that could be a gamble play more than anything. But options. The easiest thing to do is not a chain liquidity expanding to a different chain is not spending money. It's just moving that liquidity to market cap ratio increase to a different chain like BNB. And that makes it so that people that have BNB are now able to make substantially larger purchases on the BNB side, or the base chain side, or the Solana side in the future. I think it's super cool. And that's something that's an option to do. There's the option. Some people love exchanges. I think that's a hype thing, where they can say, okay, well, then pay for an exchange listing. But I will reiterate, exchange listings are ridiculously expensive these days. I'm talking like an LBank, a Bitmart, a MEXC. I'm not talking KuCoin or Binance. Everybody loves Binance. But just those lower tier ones are between $50,000 and $100,000 to get listed. Mind you, our liquidity is only currently about $207,000. But remember, that's half in ETH, half in tokens. And most of these exchanges, they require tokens. And there are plenty of rumors out there where they short the tokens on the market. And that's why you see a lot of these projects that, rush to get listed on these exchanges. It's always, it's downhill, from there, unfortunately. So I'm personally in favor of just simply expanding the liquidity to a chain. I'm personally in favor of BNB. I've been saying this for a while. I think BNB is heavily undervalued and underlooked by a lot of people in the crypto space. I think a lot of it's just due to the stuff with CZ and Binance, but I think it's going to be a big player in this bull run. So liquidity expansion of BNB is cool. Like I said, we're going to be expanding to other chains in the future, like Arbitron, AVAX, Polygon, Base, and extending what we have currently on Solana, down the line. So this is a good way to make it so that people in these communities that maybe don't want to touch Ethereum, or they're hyped up about all the community tokens. They don't call them meme tokens on AVAX. They call them community tokens on AVAX. Have the option now to take all that money they've made in AVAX plays and expand them onto EARN on the AVAX blockchain. Because that's what people do. If they've already made a decent amount of money on one chain, they're not always just bridging directly over to ETH or BNB or Solana. They're going to look at what's also on that chain and expand over there. That's just how it goes. And so if you're on the chain, you get to participate in that liquidity, like, I guess you could say, grab from people taking their money and moving it around. But if you're not going to, simple as that. So I think that's something that not just, I push EARN to be a multi-chain project, but I think anyone that has a project out there should explore that, because it's limiting yourself, in my opinion, if you don't do something like that. Look at, additional blockchain options out there. But yeah, that's what we got going on with that. That's going to be in about 20 days ish. We will have that option to do that. So that's super cool. Aside from that, another announcement that we put out yesterday.
If you want to be part of those, discussions, it's real benefit to be in the whale group.
Yes.
So you need to either hold 1 million EARN, 10 NFTs. It doesn't matter, one of each, right? 10 Flamelings or 10 Flames, or just 10 NFTs overall.
Well, it has to be 10 Flamelings or 10 Flames. You can't have 5 and 5.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Not mixed. Or 10 million Flamelings. 10 million of a Flameling token.
Currently, it is currently 10 million Flamelings, but we haven't added 52 because our TGAs are capped out. So if you have, for example, 10 million of 0x52 and you want to get in, send me a message. I can still get you in, but you're not going to be able to connect your wallet through Collab Lab to get into the group. All the other ones work. It's just that we hit our cap on TGAs for the time being right now.
Yeah.
No solution to that. Just DM me if you have 0x52 and you have over 10 million and none of the other ones, then we can figure out what to get you into the group for now. But aside from that, all the other ways get you in. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is an example of like we bring it first to the whale group to get some feedback on certain decisions we're about to make. So we actually also take people's opinions in consideration. And yeah, if you're part of the whale group, you can tell us, you want to have an exchange listing or you want to have liquidity expansion, one of the chains, or we will listen to you guys. Obviously, we can't always consider everyone's opinions because we have to make a decision eventually. But yeah, we usually bring stuff like that or also new updates or things like that. We post that first in the whale group and then we bring to the community. So you get a little bit more insight if you're in the whale group, and you have the option to also give your opinion to things before decisions are made. So that's the benefit of being part of the whale group, because sometimes we have people asking why should I join this group. So if you're really in like a committed EARN member, then yeah, I encourage you to join. If you have 1 million EARN tokens, 10 NFTs, or 10 million of a Flameling token, and we would love to have you in that group if you choose to do so. Yeah, so we also had another update yesterday. We officially launched a partnership program. So that means that we're starting collaborating with other projects and try to take advantage of the synergies between communities. Because to be honest, like everybody is investing in multiple projects, and nobody is just in one project. So it's silly to try to pretend you're the only project and the only one that matters. And there are lots of different projects out there with lots of different themes and topics and goals and plans. And so we can benefit from each other with collaboration. So if we onboard another project, we will have we will touch that community. That community will learn about EARN, while the EARN community will learn about that particular project. So both communities can expand that way. We might even be able to build really cool stuff together. And we already got a request, actually, which is super cool. So we'll be working on that. You can check it out yourself. You can spread the word about that. We will host spaces where we introduce some of those projects, and flame holders will receive airdrops from those projects. The requirement to participate in the program is that the project is committing at least half an ETH worth or 0.5% of the supply to airdrop to flame holders.
And
So if you have a flame, you will.
that's not a plus. That's either or, because sometimes, as we know,
Yes.
0.5% is a
Yeah.
substantial amount of money. So it's half an ETH
Right.
worth of token.
And
It's
each
half an
change
ETH
is
or
based on the market
0.5%.
cap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So we did both because yeah, it depends on the stage of the project, right? Like if they're very low cap, they have different things that they have to consider than when you are at millions, right? And so we gave the option for them to choose. And so the other requirement is that they will post about EARN. We will post about the projects, and so that goes both ways. So we promote each other's projects so we can spread the word better and take advantage of that. And did I forget anything? So XSpaces, that's what I mentioned. That comes also with the airdrops too. Some sort of like shield tank. We have them on as a guest. We will talk about the project and so on.
They have to
And
have at least
yeah, I'm
200
excited about
holders.
this.
Yeah, some other requirements go over it. They have to have at
Oh
least
yeah,
200
at least
holders.
200 holders. Yeah.
Their contract is ideal if it's renounced. If not, we want to know why. We're not just letting anyone in. Liquidity has to be either burned or locked. So there's going to be a vetting process. It isn't just 0.5% of their
Mm-hmm.
supply or half an ETH, and then we're going to be like, oh, let's just talk about this project. We want to review them and make sure that they're a good
Yeah, we
fit.
will talk to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so there is we actually do have a referral section on our form. We haven't yet decided what the reward should be for that, but there will be something, down the line. So if you
Mm-hmm.
guys, know any projects that might be a good fit, that are up and coming, that are looking for some additional exposure from another multi-million dollar market cap project that's up and coming too, definitely have them reach out and fill out the form if they are interested in collaborating with us. And so, that'd be cool to do. Because I know you guys are probably in a number of different things. Like I said, we have our connections too, but definitely fill the form out, or have them fill the form out and reach out to us, and we'll see if we can do a collaboration. And now, just reiterate and note, these airdrops, or these for these tokens, only go out to Flame. So if we collect, it's either 0.5% of the tokens, or it's zero point 0.5 ETH. And whatever we collect goes only to Flame NFT holders. So if we collect 0.5 ETH,
Yeah.
the Flame NFT holders get it. Split up, of course. If we collect zero point 0.5 in tokens, 0.5%, then the Flame NFT holders get it. So if you guys are looking at Flames and you're seeing them for pretty cheap, I would definitely consider, either minting them or buying them off of Rarible. Because also tonight, AG and Goldwyn from Rugs to Riches are going to be doing their
Mm-hmm.
lottery draw, and it's going to be for a Flame NFT holder. So, some heads up
Yeah.
on that. But yeah, super cool.
And the airdrops are based on trade. So if you have like a blue, yellow, red, or Nova, you get more of that airdrop share than a white flame, for example.
Hmm.
So it benefits you to have a color. So we're gonna distribute that according to the rarity. Yeah.
Yeah, super cool. So yeah, I'm sharing that around. I mean, it's only been out for like less than 24 hours, but I'm dropping it to a few different
Yeah.
founders that I know, that I've had decent conversations with, and getting a substantial interest. So yeah, let's expect that to be a little more frequent in the next coming weeks. And that's a benefit to everyone that holds a Flame NFT that's out there.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, on top of everything else, you already have the reflection share and the bounties and token gated access, tickets to IRL events, and the lottery that's weekly. So there's a lot of things, for the
Yeah.
NFTs. I mean, you just hold them because of the artwork. I think the art's is cool. Forget all the other stuff I just said. Just hold it because of the art. So,
Yeah.
but oh yeah, and all those, the thing with ADA, token gated access
Yeah.
for that too. I
Yeah.
forgot about all that. That's just a little thing too. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're building
Just a
out.
little thing.
Yeah, it's a little bit building out a lot of stuff for this. But yeah, if you don't
Yeah.
care about all that, just do it for the art. Just do it for that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So we have Wilder up here. So good morning, if you can
Yeah,
talk.
good
I
morning.
know we've been rambling
I
along.
was listening to all the alpha in the room. I was just wondering, and I think a lot of people wonder, what would an exchange listing do for EARN in particular? Because of
Yeah.
the
Mhm.
tokenomics
hmm
is really different. And yeah, it's got to make sense. A lot of people are under the impression that an exchange is like ultra bullish, and they often front run
Yeah. You
things.
see kind of both, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so hard because you
Mhm.
cannot reach everybody to tell them that it's not necessarily bullish. Not for every token, at least. And sometimes an exchange
Yeah.
listing, and it depends on the exchange, it can actually be like a whole lot of bearish because they add bots and futures to their customers. So which your token then will be used for. And I am talking about shorting
Yeah.
bots and everything they do.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe it's nice to maybe explain how this would, in my opinion, cost a lot of money, and I don't think it will live up to the result that a lot of people think it has.
Yeah.
some
Yeah. I
people think
think
it's worth it.
also.
Yeah, some people think it's worth
Yeah.
it, but like I don't.
Yeah.
I know what it is. It's the hype. The hype before the exchange
Yeah.
listing may cause a project to run, because people can talk about how hyped it is. So people think that exchange listing is bullish, because you can say how big it's going to be. And so the hype, the speculation of it being a big thing pushes it
Yeah.
forward. And so people confuse the two. They confuse the hype with the listing as it actually being a
Yeah,
bullish thing.
I think what people also don't understand is that to make a an exchange listing also reach more people. Like they think like if you're on an exchange, then all of a sudden you have all these new investors in the token that will buy it. But the thing is to get the reach because just being listed doesn't put your token in front of everyone's face. You need to pay the exchanges like exorbitant amount of money so they also market you, right? So this is an expense on top of just getting listed and providing tokens for the liquidity and stuff. Like, and we've done that in the past, and I think with one exchange listing we've paid at some point like almost did we pay
Hundred
almost a
thousand
quarter
dollars.
million dollars for it?
No, it was 150. It was
Hmm?
about $150,000, something
Oh
like that.
yeah, right, yeah. Like just, but it's insane, right? It's just
That's an
like
awful lot of
on
money.
top of the
Yeah,
cost to getting
yeah,
listed.
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, people,
but
I
what
say
does
those
it?
numbers, and then people are like, "Oh, that's insane." I'm like, "No, this is what it costs." And I
That's
think
just
I agree, reiterate it because people don't know what it costs. That's what it costs to get listed.
yeah, it is costing a lot of money, and
Yeah,
especially if they need to add marketing to it. A lot of people don't understand that what you see on exchanges like airdrops for some tokens that are going to be listed, or that kind of
yeah,
stuff. That is not out of their pocket. That all got to be paid
yeah,
for.
exactly.
Right, that's a thing. So it is, I think sometimes it is bullish depending on the project, depending on the exchange. But yeah, it's if you're looking for more holders, then I think it's more sensible to just provide some liquidity for other chains.
Yeah,
And
yeah, and
yeah.
I think yeah, especially for earn, it probably makes sense to use a chain to eventually go on an exchange. It would make sense to use one of the chains that doesn't have a tax on it because otherwise like you always have this like issue with exchanges. You have to figure out like how they are going to distribute reflections, and if they don't, they're just basically diverting. So it would make sense to use one of the chains that doesn't have tax on it, and so it makes more sense to build those out first until they have a large community, and then maybe go ahead with an exchange listing later on. That's also why I'm more in favor of expanding liquidity on one of the exchanges.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
that's how
was
I feel about
thinking.
BNB. Yeah.
I was thinking actually, base
Hmm.
would be like I think a fabulous candidate
Yeah,
for that because they have like two bullish things going on, and it's base, and it's getting an exchange listing, and
right.
yeah, just like what happened on AVEX with COQ Inu, right? It was one of the first, and they got an exchange list, and it was like total. The exchange, it went actually well on the exchange too, because it had that news of being the first big thing on AVEX, basically. So it kind of like streamlined that way. So I think if there's a listing, then base would be like pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
base
totally
expand,
agree.
base, AVAX, Arbitrum,
Yeah.
expanding liquidity on BNB. All this stuff is gonna happen. It's inevitable. It's gonna happen. We're gonna be
Right.
doing that.
Yeah.
And you guys heard me talk about this. I lean more towards doing that, looking at different chains and different communities to expand on. I mean, there's a lot of people also building out chains too. I mean, we haven't worked out all the details yet, but we're also looking into. I see Brian and Nick are looking at Paul chain. How can that work out? Because that's super cool what they got going on over there. Also, I've been meaning to. I haven't done a deep dive into it, to be honest. I look into what's going on with mainnet C, and there's a lot of different chains and these are different communities too that are touching your token. And it's not you're not spending money. You're building liquidity there and creating accessibility to your ecosystem. Is what's happening. But with the exchanges, you're spending money, and it's kind of a weird thing. It's kind of like a tax farm. because you have to maintain X amount of volume, which they make money off of. And if you don't, they delist you. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like you got to get farmed X amount of money. And if you're no longer being farmed, they're going to delist you at some point. And I've heard a lot of stories about like not people that do that stuff for X amount of time. And then the exchange goes belly up. I mean, the damn like Hotbit was a nightmare for a lot of people. They paid 50 to 100 grand to get listed there, and then the exchange shuts down. Same thing with Bittrex. I mean, there's a lot of exchanges last cycle that charged exuberant amount of money to get listed, and then due to some regulatory issues or something like that, they were just gone, or a hack, they were just gone, and they didn't give these projects refunds, for that money they spent to get listed.
Yeah.
You just hear you SOL,
Yeah.
it's funny people are saying about Solana these days. That's what it really stands for. Shut out of luck.
Yeah. Looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But I think, yeah, an exchange at this point, I think it's a lot of money. And for earn on Ethereum, I think it's like, yeah, like a no-go unless you want to make it like a sell the news event. I just think
Mm-hmm.
most of the exchange listings are 70% of it is sell the news events if it happens too soon, and it's
Yeah.
not a strategic move for more community people or more eyes on your project per
Mm-hmm.
se. And I think
Yeah.
for long term growth, the sensible thing would be to add liquidity on other chains and
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
draw people
And
into.
so something too that's super cool that we're doing. I mean, this is also, Olo is now becoming part of this, but we had already considered doing this with the EARN ecosystem, and I think he's going to make it more of a package thing in regards to like what he's building with ADA, that's cool in itself. But we talked about doing liquidity servicing, where basically I know a number of different projects that are smaller caps than ours, or the equivalent, where you can just take tokens and you can do a liquidity pair between the projects. And that's a kick-ass way to collaborate. I mean, Dill's been doing that a little bit with himself, but like there's a number of builders out there that would love that to pair liquidity. Now, that in itself is a review process. I'm not going to pair earn to a mintable contract or something that's scammy. But still, that's really cool for like legit projects to give them that option, because people don't know this, but you don't have to pair your damn token to BNB and ETH. You can pair it to anything,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
and out there. And why not
Yeah.
pair
And
it to a
usually,
hyperinflationary token like EARN?
usually,
Yeah, I'm actually.
yeah, and usually the routing works. Like it doesn't mean that you can't buy earn. So except if he pair earn to a Flameling token, I know that, yeah, on the B that would be weird. But let's say we would pair earn,
Cool. Weird, not cool. Be cool.
yeah, like with any other token. It doesn't mean that you can't buy earn with BNB or ETH, depending on which chain you are at, because typically the DEXs they route, right. So I could now probably purchase earn with USDC or USDT, and it will just route it through the ETH or BNB liquidity pool.
Hmm.
So it is a very smart way to connect to projects without really harming the user experience.
Oh, it's amazing. Yeah, especially with new projects that are coming up because they're starting at the floor. So they rise, they're just also increasing the value of earn, because as their token goes up,
Yeah.
because remember the
Mm-hmm.
50-50 split. So as their token goes up, their also earn goes up too. So it's ideal to do with projects that are already like up and coming, because they do well, earn does well. And that's the whole thing, right? You want to like tie into things like that. So yeah, creating liquidity pools between up and coming projects is like super cool. And I know that Olo's working on getting it put together in a more package deal thing, but we're also too looking, at projects that might be interested that are building out there. So if you guys have a project
Mm-hmm.
that might be interested in, potentially doing a liquidity pair, like integration with Earn on BNB, Solana, even Base, AVAX, Arbitrum down the line, definitely reach out to us and we can see if we can talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
to do that, because it's a really cool way to collaborate, and it's a cool way to to expand your project too, and we hope it does well, because it's a win-win. You do well, we do well, so
Yeah.
we want you guys to do
Yeah.
well.
So we have Brian up here for a while, and he hasn't gotten a word in.
This space was downloaded via spacesdown.com. Visit to download your spaces today.
So, hi, Brian. How are you doing?
Hey,
Good
Brian.
morning, guys. How are you doing today?
Good, man. How you been?
Good.
Oh, doing great, man. Life's good. I'm actually out here on vacation right now. I had a couple extra minutes. I'm out in Denver, about to head up into the mountains and do some skiing, so that should be fun. But I just wanted to hop in here and just comment on something Mike said that I've actually been saying for a long time, is like our project, like what we're trying to do is become kind of an intermediary between, listings. Because like you said, you just spend this money and it's so expensive, but why not just deploy liquidity on a chain to increase your exposure, up volume, so those exchanges then come to you, and that's technically not costing you anything other than providing liquidity. So, it's just exactly what I've been saying, and I couldn't agree more with that, because like you said, a lot of people don't know that some of these exchanges want 500K, $1 million to list. And like you said, if you don't keep the volume up, they can delist you, and you don't get that money back. It's incredibly expensive. So
Yeah.
And I said I'm addicted to minting Flamelings as well, just so you guys know. It's a full-blown addiction.
So you got a blue one, man. I'm expecting somebody's gonna get a red one. A red one, somebody got a red one recently, and it was funny because I was just about to go mint like 10 myself, but then I did a little video update for the community, and when I was doing the video, it's like boom, somebody minted one. I was like, I should have did that instead of the video review, but whatever.
I just minted,
but yeah, and got minting's blues, fun.
Man. It's so much fun, so cheap.
Oh. Hell yeah, awesome, man.
Yeah.
I mean,
over the weekend, like the wave was like 15, right? The wave was like 15, so it was super cheap to mint them. Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, guys, if you guys are looking to mint with cheap gas right now, it's really cheap on ETH to mint. I mean, take that into effect, because when you're minting, if the wave is like several hundred, you're going to be spending them on gas. So right now, it's only like, I think, I don't know, like 15, 17
40 right now.
Yeah, it's cheap for like a few hours from now. Like, I know I'm saying morning time for me, but it's always different where you're at, of course.
Yeah.
But
it costs me
pay attention to that. You send
USD to mint. That was it. 12 to 14.
How much?
12 to 14. Like nothing.
Oh, that's
Super
awesome.
cheap.
That's awesome.
Wow. Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, but yeah, guys. Again, if you guys have projects that you're interested in, either hey, you have an up and coming project, or a project you're in that's like looking for some collaboration, or partnership, which is always cool. I mean, we're project friendly, especially with legit people that are building out there. Definitely feel free to hit us up, and it doesn't matter if they're like, a couple 100K or whatever, or lower, or if they're tens of millions. It's all about like connecting and learning together, in the space, especially if they're doing something legitimate and building something new, and bringing adoption to the space. Definitely feel, and like I said, we're gonna have some type of referred reward. We haven't figured out exactly what that's going to be. Hell, maybe I don't know. Maybe the easiest thing to do is the percentage of the airdrop fee. Like, we know we're collecting 0.5 ETH or 0.5%. Maybe the simplest thing to do, the most simple thing to do, is to say a percentage of that. What do you think about that? I'm just brainstorming right here on the fly. What do you think?
So, I didn't get it. So you're talking about a percentage of what to do?
So how we have on there that it's 0.5 ETH, or it's 0.5% of their supply.
Worth.
What if the referral is just a percentage of that?
It's 0.5 ETH worth of tokens.
No. So it's 0.5 ETH or 0.5%. What if I'm saying?
So what do you want to do with that?
The referred. So we have the referred by section on the form.
Oh, the referral.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The referred by. What if the referee is getting a percentage of that?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean
I
that's a
think
good
that's a cool
idea.
idea. Yeah, I think
I
that's
think
simple. Do something like that. I
hmm
don't know what percentage it would
that's
be.
the
You
easiest.
get, yeah, maybe you guys in the well chat can give your opinion on that. But I think that's the easiest thing to do. To say that I get just some percentage of
Yeah.
that for them doing the grunt work, um, for doing it. And that'd be easy to do. I don't know, like 1%, 10%, 5%. I don't know. I'm gonna post it in the chat. I'm gonna say, what do you think? What should be the referred by fee be? I think. What do you think? 5%? Let's spitball in here.
Mm,
Too much? Too little?
yeah.
Too little.
Too little? Too little? She's like, make it higher so I can go to work. 10%?
Bigger is better.
10%? What do you think? 10%? What do you think? They are finding the project, right?
Yeah.
I feel like 20 is kind of high. 10?
I think
Yes.
10 is very copacetic. How do you say that?
10%?
I think it's generous.
Yeah.
10%? 10%? All right.
And 20 would be greedy.
20%. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll just say, so we'll just add that in this. I think 10% makes sense. So we'll just add that on line 3. 10% dropped. Do like a star, like an asterisk, and then say like maybe something like that. You maybe just have to write up a 10%.
Right.
If referred goes to the referee, something like that. 10% goes to the referee.
Yeah.
That'd be cool to do. So if they're putting the work in to like find them, a legit thing, if approved, then like 10% goes to the person that referred the project. So I think that makes sense.
Yeah, that's fair.
Hey, Michael. So it's 0.5 ETH. Of that 0.5 ETH, you'll get 10% as referral. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, so we were set. I mean, you've probably heard me and Adina go back and forth a little bit on this because we're solidifying a few things here on with you guys. We love doing that. We were saying that it'd be because we thought initially 0.5% of the supply, but then as I was going through looking at these projects, even ours, that's fucking crazy. 0.5% is like 30 grand, 20, 30 grand right now. And so we thought, okay, well, maybe we should make it, half an ETH. But then again, half an ETH for some projects are only like 20, 30K, 50K. That's a lot of money for them. So then we thought about how about an either or, where it's 0.5%.
Yeah. So my understanding was, but maybe I misunderstood you. My understanding was half an ETH worth of tokens.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes,
That's what I was thinking.
That are
yes.
airdrops.
That's what I was
You
thinking.
keep
Sorry for the
saying half an
confusion.
ETH.
Yes, sorry for the confusion, everybody.
Yeah.
Half an ETH worth of tokens or 0.5%.
The other thing is
Of the
on
supply,
the referral, you should just be an option because some people are going to be already in that project and they're just going to bring it to you. So they already have. I mean, I don't know. You could do it either way. Like if I brought you a project, I would just decline to get the referral. Because it just
Yeah, I don't know if there's a way to prevent that because it could be like, hey, buddy, go refer this so you can get 10% back to you. I don't know if there's any way to prevent that, to do that stuff. I mean, congrats to them if they do that, But
That will happen anyways.
yeah, you can't stop that, And there's no way to mitigate that from happening. And then they get a discount, if they do it, if they wise up and do that. It's just, and then also too, it's only going to the NFT holders. It's all going. So they hold NFTs too. They hold a bunch of NFTs. It's still going back to them too. So it just, it benefits. So they hold a lot of NFTs. They're just sending the tokens back to themselves. Essentially.
Yeah, you're right. Somebody needs to get paid for their work. Everybody's doing this to make money. So yeah, they got to get paid. So that's cool.
Yeah, so I think that Nadina be at 0.5% of the supply or half an ETH worth of tokens. And then the referee will get 10% of that. and just put down their TG
Yeah,
or a Twitter handle or something like that. So we'll get that form updated, guys, and then you can start, getting projects to fill that out. And again, these drops only go to Flame NFT holders, essentially. And this is a good way. Like I said, it's we've been talking about this for a while, and now it's just coming to the point that it's good to start doing it because we only have 191 flames left to get minted out, and so this also incentivizes minting. This is good exposure, and I love collaborating with like legit projects too to learn more. So this is a good way to do that, also. And a lot of projects have tokens. I mean, a lot of people, it's just a thing to do. You see that for common, especially in Solana projects, they always hold back tokens. So I have no idea what the tokens will be worth long term. This is a guaranteed value from EARN saying this is worth anything. They could be worth nothing. They could be worth something. That's all project dependent on what happens with them. So just because,
Yeah, and
say, go ahead, Nadina.
sorry, go finish the sentence.
Yeah, I was gonna say just because we collect half an ETH worth of tokens, it is not guaranteed that in a week that's still going to be worth half an ETH. It could be hell of a lot more, or it could be a hell of a lot less. Given. So I just want to clarify that. When we do this stuff with other projects.
Yeah, what I wanted to mention is that this is not just for external projects. Could also be with a Flameling token, right? So if you're the lead of a Flameling dividend token and you want collaborate more with the main EARN, like you would like to add up some Flamelings, because not everyone in the community actually holds all the Flamelings, right? And you might also have like just more people, kind of hear about it, depending on how we will post more about it on the main account. We do already promote the Flamelings, obviously. But yeah, or if you have a good idea that you want to pitch, like now we have almost 10 Flameling tokens. So not everybody is up to date what's going on across all those 10 Flameling tokens. And different people, they do different things with the tokens. So that would be an opportunity, for example, to maybe have explicitly a space that is about your Flameling tokens, and you can talk about your plans about it and so on. I just wanted to mention that. But obviously, for the Flameling tokens, our DMs are always open. We support each of them without any official partnership. But I just wanted to mention that this is an option too, if that is somehow beneficial. It's that you're not excluded in that sense. That I wanted to mention that.
Yeah, and I just want to clarify too, guys. The 0.5 ETH worth of tokens, or the 0.5 percent, that is dynamic and subject to change. I mean, this won't be the rate, just to be real, when we're like 100 million or $50 million market cap, because you have to dynamically change it, at that point. So this is our starting point, and some people say it's too low. Well, we're starting this out at this rate. And there'll be an announcement before anything changes. If you fill out the form and then you fill it, I'm like, oh, then it's changed. It won't be anything like that. We'll roll it out. We'll let everyone know if there's going to be any changes to it, like that. But that's the form right now. Like I said, we've already got a couple of people that have sent in, which is super cool. I mean, it's only been out for 10 hours, if that, 20 hours, not even that long. So I see this as really cool and beneficial to those that are holding, the flames. And the flames are always designed like that. They were always designed to be a way to bring exposure to other legit projects while also rewarding those that are holding them, the flame NFTs. So if you guys got flames, doesn't matter what trade color it is, expect that at some point you're going to get airdrops of something at some value. Again, there's no promised or guaranteed value. I just keep saying that because people think that it's going to be worth millions of dollars. I have no idea. It could be worth something, it could be worth nothing,
But it could.
Yeah, it could. Yeah. It's all project dependent. I mean, maybe it blows up and you do very well. Maybe you make hundreds of millions of dollars. I don't know. See what the project does. But yeah, it's a good way to collaborate and a good way to reward those that are holding those NFTs. So we'll get that updated to that just for right now, that 10%, and we'll lock that down. So if you guys know projects, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are in multiple projects, I doubt any of you are just in one, share the form out. And like I said, if you're part of the project, you're just doing it because you're gonna get to 10%, whatever. I'm not gonna police that. Do your thing. I don't care. You're still doing the work anyway. So and yeah, go for the form. We say 200 holders. I mean, that's not a stickler. If you have 178 or 199, I mean, just airdrop some tokens of people too. I mean, how to get your holder count up, to get there. But if you're like at 199, we're not gonna be like, oh, you can't do this or something like that. But yeah, stuff that we talked about is on the form. It's ideal if your contract's renounced, or if we prefer your liquidity is locked and or burned, one or the other. I mean, that should be the case anyway.
Or you're fully doxed. I mean, we will talk to each of the projects, and how we verify if it's legitimate can be in different ways. Yeah, obviously, ideally renounced, but maybe a project in early stages hasn't done that yet for several reasons.
Yeah, which we'll work that out. I mean, and yeah, we plan on growing this substantially, in the future. So it's already going pretty fast. And like I said, it's not even been 24 hours yet. But yeah, just go for the form. It's just pretty simple. Project name, contract address. Currently right now, it's ideal if it's like any of the chains that we're currently on, and that's currently like BNB, Solana, Base. Again, we're going to work on getting additional chains, but we'll work with you if you're on, for example, Polygon. I mean, or any EVM chain. So don't feel like if you're on a chain that we're not on, that we're not going to work with you. Provide your TG handle, so we can communicate with you, that's accessible. Mention how many tokens, how many holders you have too, that's on there. If you have a marketing budget, just let us know that too. If you don't, it's fine, but just say whatever it is. If you have one, if you don't, that's cool. Let's go over the form. How many tokens you like to airdrop? The 0.5% of your supply is just what we say, but you can always do more if you want. That's just a starting point. If you want to do more, that's up to you. We'll likely schedule like an earn. It's an option if you want us to do an earn space with you. So like you want to do a space to do like an AMA collaboration to talk about the project. That's optional too if you want to do that. I mean, some people are on voice docs. That's to each their own. Audit, especially if your contract's not renounced, I would suggest getting an audit. I mean, Tech Rates there's a number of people that do that, but you just let us know if it's audited or not. And just any additional information you want to share, and then it has that referred by section down there too, as we mentioned before. So it's quick to fill out. It's only a few, boxes to do that. And again, if you're sending this out to people, just drop the link and let them know it. Oh, also too, we have a few things we have set up that I've been sharing in the chat. We have a lounge and an announcement, a channel. The channel, if you don't know about it already, it's this EARN Crypto Alpha. The link has been posted around. It's actually just ECA, EARN Crypto Alpha. So that's the TG name for it, where we just post our announcements. And stuff like this will go in there. So if we do a partnership collaboration, it's going to be a post there. And we also have a lounge, ECL, where we'll post that too, where you can talk into about this stuff. So yeah, we're building out this ecosystem. It's really cool. A lot of things are coming together, and congrats to everyone that's been here and that's actually joining and participating in all this, and getting some EARN. EARN is hyperdeflationary reflection token. So if you're here, you probably seen some airdrops, just dropping them in the chat through like C Wallet, which is super cool, or bought it on another chain, like BNB, Solana, base or just holding in on ETH, you know. So a lot of stuff is cooking. We got a lot of stuff cooking with this project. So
Yeah.
super cool.
So we've been like mostly like focused on development so far because we had to build out the NFT collections, we had to figure out the Flameling dividend tokens. But now we kind of established like the technicalities of all those things, and we're pivoting a little bit of like into outreach. I mean, we've been trying to like to talk to a lot of people already. Like Michael has been like extremely doing a lot of networking in the background. But now I think we're kind of ready to kind of expand our exposure as a community as well. And yeah, I mean, it's nice. Like the space today, like we have quite a few people in here listening, and we're just expecting that to grow over time. And I think that to collaborate with other communities is ideal to do that, and it will benefit them, and it will benefit our community as well. So we're looking forward to build this out, and we expect that to grow over time. And doesn't mean that we completely stopped building, but now it's a good phase, especially with the upcoming bull run. It's a good time to now focus on that a little bit and build that out. Now that we figured out like how to launch these Flameling tokens, and they've been running really well, besides the main EARN token. And yeah, we're excited about this, and looking forward to collaboration. As we said, we already got, even though we just posted that partnership, we already got
Last night.
some
Yeah.
projects reaching out, which
Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, which is awesome.
Yeah, super cool. I mean, like, so anyone that's been with us for a while, they know that we're not really a hyped up. We don't hype and scream at people. We don't have that part of it. We wanted to build all this cool shit and test it and make sure everything works with like, you know, making sure the day one, this is a 222 tax hyperinflationary reflection token. And we wanted to make sure everything worked flawlessly. So we went through and we checked all that. We configured it to make it work. I mean, it sounds simple, but I think we launched like what 10 or 15 different times, you know, in testnet to make sure it worked perfectly.
Yeah.
And then we went the route, okay, exploring chains and testing out these chains very slowly. We even, I thought we went really slow with the Solana thing, but we learned some lessons with the Solana integration.
Yes.
Yeah, so we would have been slower with BNB, and then we're going slow with the base because we're doing these integrations, and then we're testing out these Flameling tokens, and then we're testing out expanding from there. And I announced the other day in the well chat, we've done 9 Flameling tokens. Now we're going to start doing these Flameling tokens not with like in the form of pre-sales, because they're platforms like Gympad and PinkSale, they have these little tiny marketing packages, and when you tell them you're going to do 1,000 launches, they're very friendly towards giving you a sweet deal on like helping you push these things. It's fun, right? So we have all this stuff we're working on, because I've been having this conversation. You know, this is what we're gonna do. Like, you want to do what? And it's like, yes, this is what we're gonna do. It's okay. We can work something out. And so we've been putting all this stuff together to like get a system in place so that this is just a massive thing. But yeah, we've talked to influencers. You know, we got Rondies and Jakes that are out there. I like them a lot. They're cool. About like different things, but we want to put everything together. I mean, like, what's the point of doing all this, doing this hype screaming marketing? You're not even listed on CMC or CoinGecko configured properly. And so, like, you see, like, I don't talk about that, but I'm working on getting our circulating supply verified. I'm working on getting the contracts all on CoinMarketCap. You go to CoinMarketCap, you can see the contract address for Solana and BNB. Soon you're going to see it for other chains like AVAX and Arbitrum and base chain, so that when activity picks up on those chains, that's going to show up on our listings. It's all that technical, administrative, boring stuff that we're spending this time to put together, so that when the bull run gets here and once it actually is ready to pop, this thing just fucking explodes, you know. And so we're doing all that piddly stuff, you know, that takes time to do, to build it all out. And you know, the ECA, the EARN Alpha channel, where we're actually building that out, actually, where we're going to have the options for the collaboration, our lounge for like ECL, for the EARN Crypto Lounge, all that stuff's being built out. So I know a lot of people like will come in and say like, you know, when marketing and what are you doing, but there's a lot that's happening in the background. It's not just market cap. You know, there's a lot of pieces that are moving around. to build this out. I still need to get my coloring books and merch and stuff like that for my kid so that we can get that. That'd be super cool to do. But I'm actually wearing a Flameling shirt right now.
Brian,
I like your shirt. I saw your post. I think that's awesome. I see Brian
yeah,
had his hands up again, so I just
yeah.
hello, Brian.
No, I just wanted to jump in, and Mike said he's collaborating and getting her name out there. I just wanted to let everyone know that next Tuesday, April 2nd, we're going to be having an AMA with Paw Chain and EARN. So the entire Paw Chain
Oh, right.
community is
Yeah,
going to
good.
learn
Thanks, Mint.
about what you guys have built over here. And
Oh.
it's going to be special. I'm excited to spotlight EARN on our platform. It's going to be a lot of fun.
That is going to be a lot of fun.
Awesome,
Yeah,
Brian.
thanks
Yeah.
for bringing that up. Yeah. We need to get an announcement out for that.
The 2nd of
We do,
April.
yeah. And Paul Chain's a cool community,
Excited.
It's always good to see other builders in the space and respect. Actually, yeah, Brian came out, we actually hung out, had some beer and pizza, together and chatted. And it's also good to talk tech stuff, too.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a great time, and it's just like just kind of what I've been telling everybody already in the podchain community. Like a lot of my friends and people in the community are very well aware of the EARN project, and like I said, like that space next week, even more so. We'll see what's going on because what you guys got going on is just special. I mean, it's got everything you want. It's got the tokenomics, it's got the liquidity, it's got the addictability with the NFTs. I mean, I think I'm up to 10 now, and I don't want to stop. Don't want to stop. And it's just got everything you need, man. And like you said, the marketing, this stuff, it's a process. It takes time. You got to focus on development, the build out, the community, grow organically, and then everything will start falling into place. It's how it works. And, I have no doubt that you guys will be extremely successful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brian. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, if you guys haven't, check out Paul too. Actually, I mean, like I said, there's a lot of cool builders that are out there, and you see me bounce around a number of spaces, too. Yeah, Paul's a community. I like the folks over at Buddha. And it's not fun on names. Even Pepe X. I see that guy grinding day in and day out. I mean, respect, to projects that aren't just here for a short period of time. They're not just all hype, but they're actually, building and putting the time and putting in the work.
Yeah,
Because there are slow days. There are very slow days.
Say too that marketing is not a cookie cutter thing. It needs to be for what you have, right? And that's not the same. Even though it's all crypto, it's not the same. So you gotta figure that out and do and pay for things according to what your needs are for marketing, and that's not cookie cutter. So a lot of people think a cookie cutter thing. Well, we have some influencers, right? You do an exchange listing, and then it's gone. It's done. That's the marketing playbook for most one day flies. But if you're a sustainable project, you gotta do research into what fits for the token.
Yeah. That's very true. I mean, the different influencers have also kind of their following is a whole community on its own. So if you're and not all communities are interested in the same things. So you have to figure out which of those, if you're using an influencer, you have to be very careful, like which one you spend money on, because you might just you might market it to the completely wrong people that are not interested in what you're offering. And so I think that's very true. It's very special for each project how they have the most effective marketing. And you have to kind of figure out on your own, because sometimes also over time, it depends on the people that join your community. And then you realize what they're really looking for, what are they hyped about, and what they don't really care for. And that's a process, and it can change over time. I'm sure the people that we had in the very beginning of our project, that looked a little bit different what they were looking for, right? Than those that we have now established community members we know now what they want and what they are looking for. So it kind of changes over time, and you have to adapt very slowly and see what works and what doesn't. Otherwise, it's just burning through your funds, and then what are you going to do? Like, then you have maybe the best opportunity that you could think of, but you don't have the money to take advantage of it.
Right. And
So
now I'll just
yeah, I
clarify for
think
people
that
who
is
ask
very,
this,
very true.
and not clarify people who ask, like Nadine and I have money to continue the project, but we don't have money that we want to just piss away,
Yeah.
right? So there
Right.
is, I
Hmm.
repeat, there is no money going back to a tax wallet or a marketing wallet. It's 100% reflection only, deflationary project. The taxes go back to everyone. So when we spend money out of our pocket, we look at the benefits, how it pushes the community, how it works out better. I felt like when talking with Adina that it was necessary for CoinMarketCap. It is a $5,000 expense, but we just felt like that was
Yeah.
needed at this point for this to push the project. And there's a lot of things we do like that, and we built this community in a way that we want people to make decisions like that on their own too. Maybe you decide that, you know what, I think it's time for me to build us some merch. Maybe I feel like it's time for me to host some
Yeah.
YouTube videos or to pay a YouTuber $10 just to shout out EARN or $1 or two. You can do that pretty cheap these days on these YouTube channels and stuff like that, or, we want this to be built, people to take the initiative to build out. But I know a lot of projects really focus on like one person is getting paid and then just doing everything, or let the money just go for that one person.
Yeah,
And
but
it's,
and it could also
it's,
hurt your project, right? So you can
yes,
spend a lot of
yeah,
money, and your charge is going to look like because ultimately your number one marketing tool is your chart. That's number
yeah,
one,
yeah,
and that's the
yeah.
one you got to support with the marketing. So if you do the wrong type of marketing, it's going to look like a pump and dump thing, and a retracement that is far below what it should be, and people are going to see that, and it's going to look like a rug, and just there's hardly getting back from
Yeah,
that one.
You can run through
no, yeah,
$1 million of
and
marketing and gain nothing out of it. It can
I
happen so
know
fast. So
it's so
fast.
wild, right? Because what you're doing, you're trying to satisfy. The space is they're very bipolar, and they're so very short attention spans. People once I was actually having a conversation yesterday about this, about you need to make this happen quicker. I mean, quicker for who? I mean, Earn has already done a 2000x easy in a very and I think a traditional very short damn time period. But I think it's a combination of like the projects like Bone, Book of Memes, any Solana plays that do 1000x in a matter of a week or days. And people get spoiled, especially these fucking influencers that peddle this shit that you follow me and this can make you can make millions. And they don't understand the chances of that actually happen are slim to none. But people get convinced that they can invest in everything and it doesn't happen. I'm part of some groups where people just do that all day. They chase these things and they lose thousands of dollars. And a lot of people don't understand that to build something legitimate, to build something actually that has a foundation structure, it takes time. And yeah, you can run really, really fast. But if you run really fast all the time, eventually you're going to burn out, or you're gonna just crash and burn. You can't do that. I mean, I was an ultra marathon runner in Florida. I ran 50-mile marathons all the time, and you got to learn what your pace is. You can't just go at something that's running as fast as possible and expect to sustain yourself. Eventually, you got to like take a water break. You got to slow down a little bit. Otherwise you're just not going to make it. And a lot of projects that run at these paces, it's sad, but they're not going to make it. You got to figure out what works. But I think a lot of it too is just community pressure. You have these individuals that come in that want they win. They want something right now, and people that run these projects try to satisfy that. And unfortunately, they don't know how to run things like a business, and they try to satisfy this thing that's just not sustainable. Paying for an exchange listing, for example, a lot of them, in my opinion, are a fucking waste of money. But people will do it because they're trying to satisfy the community for the win now, making it happen, and not knowing the actual the effects or what it actually can, what it really will do. Like all these people that pay from XC and not knowing that they're going to short their token and then they're pretty much just dead. I've seen plenty of projects go from a couple hundred K to 20 something million and back down to a few, like less than 100K. in a very short time period. They're done. And I think people don't understand how quickly that happens. And if you want to build something that can last, you have to do it a certain way. And that's what we're doing. We're building EARN, not to just be this thing that makes it in a week or a month, but to be something that goes to the bull run through that long ass bear run into the next one, so that this turns into a multi-billion-dollar project, down the line. And that's why I constantly say, yeah, 1 to 3 years, yeah, I expect about $5 per token. And I know that's not fast enough for a lot of people, but whatever. That's a lot of damn X's. And I think, and seriously, a short period of time, to do. So, hey, that's my opinion. My opinion on all that.
Yeah, well, it's the same thing with Bitcoin, right? I mean, speaking of Bitcoin, I kind of predicted that massive bear trap that's playing out right now. Again, shorts liquidated, and it's looking to take 70. I think it's going to go 71.
Yeah, it's looking
Yeah,
good.
71, and then hop back on support on that 68 support. And then I think it's go time. I think we're too close to the halving for it not to be. I think it's
It's
going to be
nice.
an explosive week. It looks so good. The market looks so good.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, I see Ethereum's back at 33,500.
Yeah, let
BNB
me
is
look
almost
at
back
it.
to like 600. Yeah, markets are green. I mean, it's good too. We have like I heard people they have probably some Bitcoin. Everyone should have at least some Bitcoin, and money in different places, like BNB, Ethereum, um, because it's good to diversify a little bit. Earn is I mean, Bitcoin's not going to do 1,000x. I don't think Bitcoin's going to do 1,000x in 1 to 3 years. I see Earn doing several thousand x 1 to 3 years. I think Bitcoin's going to go to $1 million, but not in a couple of years. It's going to take a little more time, just because there's so much more liquidity there. So it takes more time, more money to move that. This whole entire thing is a liquidity game. How much you have invested in it. If I put $1 million into Earn, it would move quite a bit. To say the least. If I put $1 million into Bitcoin, it wouldn't even hiccup. You wouldn't even see the movement on the chart. So it's just understanding how that all works in regards to like lower caps and high caps like Bitcoin and Ethereum, how money moves around. But I mean, if I want to make a 2x on $1 million, I'm not putting that into Bitcoin. I'm not going to get a 2x very quickly. But long term, I will. I would, yeah. I will get a 2x, in like several years. That's almost probably a guarantee, in my opinion. But I'm a crypto maxi, so I believe that to be the case.
Yeah.
Unless something really, really bad happens.
No, I think it will do that. But I think it's going to be a very surprising this bull run. I don't know. Just the chart looks good. That's not just it. It's just I see some tokens coming to life that I'm really surprised. I'm raising eyebrows left and right. I see some in my old watch list on TradingView that I just pulled up, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. I see some of these giants waking up, and that kind of gives me like a little bit of gave me a little bit of FOMO on that I don't have enough, which is ridiculous. Uh, if if not, then there's nothing much I can do about it at this point. Uh, but yeah, I think we're going for a run up. I think April and May is gonna be surprising. So if you do not have bags packed, then you got to get some. Not financial advising. You got to get some.
Yeah, no, I think also it's gonna exciting times ahead. So looking forward to
I'm
that.
seriously
And
seeing tokens waking up that I'm seriously raising eyebrows, right?
yeah,
And I'm looking at their website, checking up on what they've been doing to explain all this. But it's just people getting bullish. It's coming. Yeah, it's coming.
yeah. All right, I think we're almost an hour and a half. So if no one else wants to add anything or has any questions, we're gonna close out the space in a minute. Yeah, I think it's gonna be exciting having all these projects on, collaborating, touch on different communities. And I think we're just going to grow from here. And yeah, all bullish vibes. Also, our chart looks awesome, like ready to take off. And so, yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in. This was really nice space. Love talking to you guys. And yeah, Michael, do you have anything to add?
Checked out already.
Checked out already. Or
Yeah, I'll just add one thing
or...
to it. Actually,
okay.
I do think EARN is set to, it could blow up at any point, but don't overinvest. I mean, yes, I do think EARN will go to like 50, 100, up into $1 billion, but it's always better to DCA in so that you can actually catch retracements if they happen. So I think EARN's like about 2 million now. I mean, if you have like $10,000, maybe don't put the full 10,000 in. Do like $1,000 at a time every few days, and just be comfortable. Yes, the market looks like it's about to take off. Bitcoin's sitting at 69K. That's very attractive, but when you DCA into something, you can feel more comfortable, and you can weather retracements. If you go in all at once, like for example, the $10,000 example, if there's a 50% retracement, you're gonna freak the fuck out. I'm sorry, but that's what's gonna happen, and you're probably gonna sell because you're gonna have too much money in to lose, and then it's gonna reverse, and then you're gonna cope, and you're gonna buy back in at a much higher point, and then it's gonna retrace, and then you're gonna sell again, and before you know, you're out of money. So just DCA in, take your time, don't overinvest, and yeah, enjoy the ride. I mean, there is a biggest buy competition running currently right now, I forgot to mention, on EARN, that ends in about 30 hours. So definitely check that out. I think you need to have around 2 ETH worth in to be in the top spot. But if that's a substantial amount of money, don't try to do it. If you want to get some in and just enjoy the folks that are towards the top, aiming for the top 1 position, just DCA what you're comfortable with. That's always really important. In this game, I had a substantial amount of people losing it from our retracement from 11 million to 1. And a lot of people probably didn't have any money to buy that dip at 1 or the dip at 2 or 3 or so on and so on. So yeah, just DCA, keep yourself comfortable and just enjoy the ride. I've been saying it since 50K market cap. If you would put in, if you had hundreds, say $100,000, you were putting in like $1,000 at a time since day one, you'll be up substantially right now. And I believe that to be the case, as we're going. I mean, I don't think it's going to be a straight line to 100 million. It's going to be retracements, 100%. So DCA on the way up, and yeah, and get ready. I think the bull run's going to be here, soon. And anyone that's been through a few of these know how explosive that is and how quickly things change almost overnight. But have your strategy in place. Don't become reactive. Just try to stay chill and respond to things accordingly. Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I had to add that in.
All right. Have a great day, everybody, and we catch you at the latest. So we'll be around. Maybe spin up a VC or another space in the afternoon.
Before we end, Drew Roberts just came up real quick. Let him talk for a second. Hey, man.
Oh, yeah, of course.
GM friends, I don't have anything important to say. I'm just here to learn from their own team. Doing my thing.
Yeah, so it's cool to have you up, man. Yeah, Drew's if you guys don't know, he's also in the space, developer, builder, benefit, smart guy. So if you guys give him a follow if you don't know him. But yeah, so it's good to make those connections out there. That's a big part of this game, being connected with people and learning the tech and keeping updated on things. So a lot of things change very quickly. I mean, even for me, like I still haven't had time to tap into all the stuff that's happened in the metaverse space. That's above my head right now. I mean, I try to get in it, but I'm like, I can't focus on all that stuff. All the chains and everything else that's going on takes a lot of time in itself. But make those connections, and then people can try to break it down for you and help you, give you the short version to understand what's happening out there, so that you can be part, of everything out there that is crypto. So work on your relationships and your connections in the space, guys. It's very important, more than people talk about.
Yeah, and I guess to add on that, always surround yourself with people smarter than you, and then you'd be doing all right. And you just try to synthesize what they're doing on different blockchains and what they're doing with experimentation on different fronts. And that's one of the things I love about EARN. Y'all are front runners on so many concepts that you are working on, like with the flames, with the token, swapping tokens for NFTs to drain the supply, and stuff you are doing with dport to cross chain. It's great. Learn a lot from y'all. So keep it up. And also token host. I'm proud to be a part of it.
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate it. Nice to see you.
Let's go.
Okay. Cool. Cool, man. So this is a recorded space. We're gonna post it on YouTube for people to like listen to it later. We're building it up over there. It's just a channel we have. It's for EARN Crypto. It's also going to be shared in our announcement channels. If you guys haven't done that, join that channel, join the lounge, EARN Crypto Lounge. And yeah, if you want to come just chill inside the TG, it's not usually always hyped up with a lot of chips and stuff. We try to just have conversations in there. Sometimes it gets a little exciting, but you can find me in there pretty often if you're looking for me, or I might even be in a space. You know, I think Rodney's having a space later today. I tend to pop around a lot in different spaces and connect.
I just read that Rodney was moving home and or driving home, and that he should be good to go tomorrow.
Gotcha. Okay, well then I'll probably, we'll close out this one, and then I'll spin up another space that's just not recorded, and I'll probably just chill in here, throughout the day. So when this one closes out, feel free to rejoin.
I could open a space too, like a community chill. I'm chill. Let's go.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah. Then I'll join there as a co-host, and then we'll just chill in there.
Cool.
And yeah, and everyone feel free to join Wilder Space, and we'll just chill in there. So thanks everyone for joining this morning. Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.